Yo YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy SalvationsElite. We're back with another video, guys, and today, once again, we're talking about OpTic Gaming. I'm kind of tired of this OpTic Gaming news because I want to make strats videos, I want to make some gameplays, I want to do some other stuff, but there's so much good OpTic news, and I'm really interested in it, so I don't want to, I don't want to just ignore it. I feel like it's important to talk about, and it's, again, today, we found out that the LA team is going to likely be called the LA OpTic, and there's a loophole with how they're able to make that happen. And IGC, with the holding company for Immortals /OpTic, making that happen. That's kind of why they wanted to buy OpTic in the first place. So it's really interesting overall, and I'm excited to talk about it. So again, today we're gonna do the OpTic news. Tomorrow I'm gonna try to do like a quicker video of like a gameplay or something that's easier to edit because it's 4th of July. And then the following day, the 5th, then I'm gonna do a strats video. So drop anything down below that you guys want to potentially talk about with a strats video, or something you guys want to learn about in the game. Drop that down below, and we can potentially talk about it in 2 days. So this morning, Gary Siegel, the owner of IGC, came out and said that they plan on having the Los Angeles COD team that they purchased, the spot in Los Angeles, they plan on that being represented by OpTic Gaming, named in some way OpTic, like apparently the Los Angeles OpTic, Los Angeles OpTic Gaming, something along those lines, I guess, is what they want to do. And they should be the only legacy, quote unquote, team in the CWL next year, or I guess the CDL next year, the Call of Duty League next year. What's crazy is that this is even possible. So basically, Gary Siegel and IGC had this basically planned from the start. So to put this all into perspective, Blizzard's ruling for how you can name your teams inside of leagues is that they can't be named after what your current company or esports organization is. So like, Envy can't name their team Envy, Splice can't name their team Splice. And that's what we all assumed for OpTic, is that you can't name it OpTic because OpTic was/is an organization / business. The thing is that IGC realized, wait a second, if OpTic only exists in Call of Duty, if we drop the Gears team, if we're selling the CS team, if we're selling the Overwatch team, and we're taking the LOL team to be Immortals, OpTic is just a Call of Duty team. They're not a broad esports organization, so couldn't we just name it OpTic? And apparently that's the case, and that's what is allowed. So Gary Siegel, again, the CEO of IGC, who is the holding company for Immortals and OpTic, said, I have a different understanding of Blizzard's rules and guidelines. My reading is that a single brand could be applied to Blizzard's franchise leagues. OpTic is Call of Duty, and as long as we have anything to say about it, will always be Call of Duty. So IGC clarified that they want OpTic to be a solely Call of Duty brand, a sole Call of Duty brand, and that's all OpTic is going to be. The weird thing about this, again, is the whole Hecz tweet where Hecz said, that ain't us, and all the players kind of roasting them or, talking bad about Immortals /IGC in some way or another, or even the OpTic Twitter account itself because of that announcement. And so it's really a weird situation right now. And what's even crazier is that 2 days ago, when it was announced officially that 2 spots were sold to Los Angeles and Minnesota, that Activision literally confirmed this exact thing 2 days ago. So in Activision's official press release for the 2 teams that were being confirmed, which I think came out a little bit after I posted my video, they said Immortals Gaming Club will operate the Call of Duty esports team in Los Angeles and will be represented by OpTic Gaming, which IGC recently acquired. So the important thing there is that it'll be represented by OpTic Gaming. Immortals will be represented by the brand OpTic Gaming. That makes so much more sense for why IGC / Immortals wanted OpTic in the first place, because we were all like, so they're just going to abolish everything about OpTic. They're going to abolish the Call of Duty team. They're not even going to have the name OpTic in the Call of Duty team, so why would they even want OpTic? That was the biggest question in the first place, but now we see why. It's because they want to be the only team that has the current brand that is currently in Call of Duty, OpTic Gaming. They want to be the only team that has the same name going in the next season. And next year, there's going to be so many new people and new eyes on the scene in general, because Activision, again, like we talked about yesterday and the day before, has so much money behind this scene that they're going to have to push, new advertising. They're going to have to push casual players to like competitive Call of Duty. The scene, in a lot of ways, should grow, and those fans are only going to recognize one team, and that's going to be OpTic Gaming. And that's the strategic position that IGC wanted going into this league, is to have the only recognizable name and brand in the new league. So it makes a lot more sense for why they wanted to buy OpTic in the first place and why they're trying to get into the Call of Duty League in the first place. Now it all is kind of falling into place. But what doesn't make sense still is Hexz's involvement in OpTic Gaming and whether or not the COD team that is currently on OpTic will be on the COD team that's on OpTic, you know, next year and to come. We don't know. And the biggest thing is Hecz did say that he's not going to say anything until, you know, past July 4th. He tweeted that today. And so we don't know if he's going to announce something tomorrow night or the next day or the next day. But probably within this week, we're going to hear something straight from Hecz about his involvement with Immortals or his involvement with a different org or a brand new org in potentially the Call of Duty scene. So that's what we're really waiting on at this point. But it's just so interesting that this is what IGC and Immortals wanted to do. And it makes so much more sense now why they bought this team and wanted to get into the Call of Duty League in the first place. Because I was so confused, man. I was like, they're going to just rebrand OpTic to Immortals. And then they're going to lose all of the fans that OpTic has. They're going to ruin the brand. Everyone's going to hate them. And so if they're smart, they're going to do whatever it takes to keep Hecz involved. And they would, you know, that is what they should do. But I don't know if that's what they're going to do. At the end of the day, it does sound like Hecz has another plan involved, which could totally alter the current brand that is OpTic Gaming. It's just really crazy because it feels like IGC doesn't care about the history of OpTic Gaming at all. They're only looking towards the future and the future of franchising in Call of Duty. Like, their goal is to attract new fans to OpTic Gaming. Their goal is definitely not to maintain old OpTic fans, which is really weird and really crazy. But it seems like their goal was to attain the most recognizable brand in Call of Duty, and then now translate new fans this season or the upcoming season in Modern Warfare's Call of Duty League to become OpTic fans. That's their goal. It's a really business strategic move on IGC's part, and we're really waiting on what Hecz can say and what Hecz is going to do, and that's going to be the next big domino to fall in this whole situation. I thought this was a really interesting update or outcome for what IGC was trying to do with Call of Duty and with OpTic in general, and it does make a little bit more sense now, but it could be insane, man. Like, insane. The drama if Hecz ends up leaving OpTic or sells his shares in OpTic or whatever he has left in OpTic, if he ends up ditching that and trying to do his own thing, the drama could be real. That's kind of what the Call of Duty scene needs at this point, you know, to really drive attention. Like, could you imagine if Hecz created a new organization that gets a spot in the Call of Duty League, and then they're playing against OpTic Gaming, and Hex's team has Scump, has Crim? You know, that would be insane. Oh my word, that would be crazy. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, like, comment, and subscribe. I'm really excited to see how this all folds, how this all ends up, how this all concludes, and I can't wait to see more of it. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video if you guys really enjoyed it. I really appreciate all your guys' support, the likes, the comments, the shares, whatever it is. It goes a long ways. All the Twitter interaction, Instagram comments, or whatever it is. I really do appreciate it. But as always, guys, for SalvationsElite, and we'll see you next time. I'm out.